Okay, so welcome back to the final part of this presentation. Uh, we've gone through parts 1 up to part 11 of these lectures, and I just thought this part would give you some examination preparation tips and also provide some general guidance in terms of what you should be expecting at the examination hall, post examination, and some other ideas that may be very useful to you. Let's go through it. So, like I said, here we'll be looking at study tips for you, examination preparation tips. What does the technical framework of the lead trained associate examination like? What does it look like? Some keywords to note from each of the parts we've looked at from part 1 all the way to part 11, and some samples of examination scoring and results. Um, this should help. Okay, so a quick word from me. The real objective of knowledge is behavioral adjustment for societal change, right? So if you have not changed much, it simply means that you have not learned much. That's why I'm saying here that the fastest way to acquire knowledge in any subject is when the motive is towards effecting change in personal and societal lives, and not just for passing an examination. You see, if you approach these lessons with the concept of passing an examination, you will struggle. But if you're on the lookout for information that will facilitate your change of mentality when it comes to green building, then you're in for the best time. So that's the starting point. Why are you writing this exam? Just to acquire the credential. The credential is okay, but much more, it is for you to be adjusted to the concepts that make for healthy environment and healthy living, such that beyond the certification or beyond the accreditation, something has changed in how you view the ecosystem and the environment in general. So that is the first issue that must be addressed. You should approach it with the right motive. So here are some final tips for you to keep in mind in preparing for the lead grade associate exam. Ensure that there is enough focus on motivating yourself to perform at your best. Studying speed improvement, studying quality. Decide that you are going to give your best. Now go through the lead green associate candidate handbook to understand the accreditation process, the requirements for eligibility, the references for the examinations, and also issues around test center considerations. You may want to write your test at the center, or you may want to write the proctor monitored examination, which is online based. And then prioritize studying the lead process. That includes the organizational fundamentals, the structure of lead rating system, the lead certification process, impact categories, development process, and so on. This will give you a very well-established foundation for every other concept that you're going to be coming across. All right. Also, familiarize yourself with local and international building codes. You'll be coming across a lot of them in the examination. I'm sure you've seen a number of references we made from part 1 to 11. ISO, ATRI, ASTM, CDPH, and so on, as they are referenced in many lead credits and many prerequisites. You can also engage flashcards to help in memorizing the terminologies. You see, it's not about memorizing the lectures as it were or the concept as it were, but there are some terminologies that are technical terminologies that you are expected to know. So flashcards could go along. In my case, I use some calendars, add the keywords written in very interesting ways on calendars, the blank pages of calendars, which helped my assimilation of some of those very tricky terminologies and definitions, especially during the revision stage. Also, consider taking a number of um, past questions, take a course, and the lead train associate exam preparation to understand and to gain more useful information like you are doing in this session. And of course, choose a single comprehensive study guide to avoid distractions and to help you focus on your target. When I was preparing for my exam, there were a lot of information flying around the internet, and a number of them were contradictory. There's some of the updates that had happened, and some material provider did not update. You need to be in touch with what lead and GBCI is actually saying, and ensure that you are related with trusted partners when you are getting information that you want to rely upon. And that's why it's important for you to subject whatsoever knowledge you've acquired to some practice test from verified partners of lead of USGBC and GBCI. All right. So that's very important. You need to pay attention to that. Avoid unnecessary distraction. Also, create a study plan that includes your location, the location you intend to have the best of concentration for your study, how much time you want to allot each of the items in your study plan, and then what are you expected to have achieved after daily milestones and weekly milestones. Like I said before, take as many practice tests as possible to reinforce learning and identify areas that need more practice. And during the examination, manage your time efficiently. Keep your eye on the clock. Do not spend too much time on the question. You can always go ahead to answer the questions you're more familiar with while revisiting the ones that appear a little bit tricky. And then get a good night's sleep before the examination to stay focused and calm. So these tips are important for you as you work towards increasing your chances of success in the lead green associate examination. All right, let's go on now to the keywords. Okay, so the technical scheme is a package of 100 randomly delivered multiple choice questions. The exam duration, like you already know, is 2 hours, and then your ability to recall, to apply, and to analyze will be tested. And here you have the breakdown of the questions per subject matter that we've already considered. There are about 15 questions that will be unscored, and the idea is the unscored questions are usually used to collate performance data for USGBC. You will not know those questions that are scored and unscored, so you cannot readily predict which answers provided are correct. How many correct answers you provided are enough to pass the examination. You must just approach the examination hall with adequate preparation. Let's go to the keywords of the part 1 lecture that we have. For part 1, remember ecology, ecosystem. Now, the idea of the keyword, it helped me seriously when I was preparing for both my Green Associate examination and Accredited Professional examination, AP. The keyword helped me to assess my level of capturing of the syllabus of each part of the lecture. Because essentially, the lecture content and the lecture information are built around these keywords. So, for as long as you're able to remember all the keywords that pertain to a particular part of the lecture, you are done and dusted. And that's a secret tip I'm giving you, because I never came across it anyway, but I thought I could have a parameter to help me check how much of work, how much of comprehensive work I've done on a particular lecture, and it helped very greatly. So here we have ecology, ecosystem, the GHG, which is the greenhouse gases, climate change, green building, carbon footprint, carbon offset, low carbon buildings, net zero energy buildings, and energy plus buildings. So when I talk about flashcard, by the time you're done with your lectures and you're on your revision, you should have these keywords written on your board, right? And then you glancing at it and say, okay, ecology, this is what ecology is all about. Okay, ecosystem is this. All right, until I was able to explain without opening my note each of the keywords, I wasn't convinced that I was done with any part of the lecture. So that's an approach that I think may also help you. So next set of keywords is the part 2 and 3, which is essentially talking about USGBC and the lead MPRs, the keywords that we find there, and they're here. USGBC mission, vision, statement, guiding principles, GBCI, lead, the different credentials, the lead rating systems, the minimum program requirements, the prerequisite credits, referenced standards, talk about the ISO, ASTM, ASHRAE, talk about the subject of exemplary performance, pilot credit, ACPs, which is the alternative compliant part, the project administrator, the owner, lead campus, master site, online, credit interpretation rulings, lead interpretations, the certificate challenge policy, and of course, template and calculator. So all of these keywords are the significant words that you must pay attention to in from our part 2 and 3. Okay, let's see part 4. For part 4, we talked about the iterative process, leverage points, LCA, which is a life cycle assessment of embodied energy, and so on. Hard cost, soft cost, conventional building process, the whole building design approach, integrative process, charrette, IDP and the stages, and of course the life cycle thinking. So these are the keywords from the part 4. Look out for them in the lecture. They may not appear exactly in these words, but they will have been spoken to in narration in terms of the substance they hold and how it relates to the green building concept. It's very important for you to pay attention to that. Yeah, these are the keywords for part 5. Smart growth, urban sprawl, compact development, development density, density radius, floor area ratio, walking distance, bicycle network, diversity of uses, locate near public transit, transportation demand, transportation demand management strategies, public transportation, reduce parking spaces, green vehicles, compressed work week, carpooling, telecommuting, encourage bicycling, neighborhood development and design, smart location and linkages, neighborhood pattern and design, green infrastructure and building, and brown fields. Part 6. For part 6, the keywords is under sustainable site are also here. site assessment, site design, property area, project boundary, lead project boundary, developed areas, building footprint, development footprint, floor area ratio, landscaping, adaptive vegetation, xeriscaping, maximize open space, minimize construction pollution, restore and conserve sensitive areas, brownfields and infield development, environmental site assessment, building exterior management, snow and ice removal, integrated pest management, heat island effect, SRI, which is the solar reflective index, SR, emitters, low impact development, glare, sky glow, and light trespass. I'm sure these keywords are bringing up, some memories of the things you write. That's the idea. It's supposed to juggle your memory, and you see paint a picture of uh, the explanations you've had across the various parts of the lecture so far. So it's a good way to bring back some of the things you've read as you begin your revision. Let's look at 7 keywords. So here we're talking about water efficiency keywords. They're here. You remember water cells label, remember to flush, grey water, zero escaping, efficient drip irrigation, grey water, water audits. We have zero escaping and so on. So pay attention to this, it will help you. Let's go to part 8, keywords. Because we have under the energy and atmosphere keywords, a whole lot of them. Project location, thermal mass, LED lamps, daylighting, GWP, which is the global warming potential, ODP, which is the ozone depletion potential, building management system, BMS, commissioning agents, renewable energy, green chills, green power, passive and active solar, and so on. These are the keywords from the part 8 of our lecture that you must ensure that you came across during your lecture, or you understood it from the explanation of a concept that you came across in your lecture. Alright? And this is the part 9. Keywords. Reduction, reuse, recycle waste to energy. You have design for flexibility. You have cradle to cradle, which is C2C certified. Life cycle assessment, environmental product declaration, product category rule, Forest Stewardship Council. You would have seen quite a number of your paper-related products with this FSC. That's Forest Stewardship Council. You have the chain of custodies. You see persistent back-related taxes, BT, so commingled, recycling, and so on. So these are the keywords under materials and resources. Let's go ahead to part 10. And then for the indoor environmental quality, you're familiar with what we mentioned. 90% of Americans prefer to stay indoor. Or stay indoor, the family does. Emission source control, rail, formaldehyde, a whole lot of them, thermal comfort, entryway systems, SmartNAS strategies, scheduling, green cleaning. Green cleaning is so important, it's appearing twice here, don't mind me. Visual comfort, acoustic comfort, Ashray 55, and light shells. And also take note of these keywords for part 10. And then, of course, finally, for the innovation and regional priority category, the keywords innovate, building features, sustainable building strategies. The role of the lead accredited professional. And then when we talk about, of course, for regional priority, the local environmental priorities. That's right. Let's now see a few other general tips of what you should know. This is for you to have an idea of what your report card is going to look like. I think I got my report card within 24 hours, and of course, this is what you should be expecting. Um, I scored here 189. Test date 30th of November 2021. So this is exactly what, of course, upon completion of the examination, you see congratulations and all that, but you will not see your score. So later on, you're going to get your test report, and this is what it looks like. And then on the directory, on the membership directory, on the USGBC website, it's also going to be updated. I think mine was updated within maybe 48 hours. You're going to see that lead green associate tag just underneath your name. This was the screenshot of my page as at when I was only a lead green associate. Of course, when I graduated to lead accredited professional, it also reflected. Now, when I became a leader, a USGBC faculty, it also reflected under the faculty category. So this is what you'll be expecting once you pass your lead green associate examination. It's been interesting interacting with you for these past few weeks, and I'm sure that you are more than prepared to go ace it. Let us know when you clear it, and we're going to be celebrating with you. Come with a bottle of wine. All the best. Thank you.